You're listening to the Business and Life Podcast, where 7 days a week, proven entrepreneurs share their success stories, failures, and give you true value on how you can build a great business and an awesome life. With your host, Mike Olivas.
What's happening, guys? Today I'm chatting with Ken Carfagno. Ken is a high-energy former engineer, now running a cleaning company. Smart goal setting was Ken's catalyst for shrinking his work week by 2 days without sacrificing income. Now he reinvests his time into coaching, helping dads connect with their kids, and spending more time with his own family of 6. Ken, welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks so much, Mike. I look forward to speaking to the Life Nation.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, Business and Life Nation is coming at you hot today. So tell our listeners something interesting about yourself, and also where are you calling in from, Ken?
Calling in from the Philadelphia suburbs. Been born and raised here. Cheesesteaks, Rocky, but spent almost 2 decades away from this area. Just thankful we're back around family. Something interesting about myself. Let's see. I have uncles and aunts that are younger than me. Yeah. That's one. I had, in college, I was a big ping pong player, and I won the Forrest Gumpathon in my freshman year of college.
The Forrest Gumpathon?
I tried to look online to see if there's any record of it to prove this to people, but I won the whole tournament. Yeah, big deal.
Nice.
And other than that, I'm the question I would get all the time when I would be cleaning houses is, wait, you used to be an engineer. Why do you do this? So I was an engineer prior to being in the cleaning industry.
Well, let's talk about that now. So from engineer to the cleaning industry, let's talk about Smart Cleaning Biz. How did you come up with it? Where's the background with that?
Yeah, okay. This is a really great question. Engineering teaches you a certain skill set, and you probably employed many engineers, and we think a certain way. So if you're an engineer out there, my condolences. We're very analytical, and so I pursued that direction. Within 2 years, I discovered I didn't want to chase that dream any longer. It was kind of like the ladder against the wrong building mindset for me. And so I wanted to get out of there. We thought of other businesses. Cleaning was the one. We had some side stuff while I was an engineer, and I made some mistakes in that area as well. But essentially, the side business of cleaning is the one that I didn't expect or want to happen, but it did. And so cleaning became a 14-year journey in New York. And at the end of that journey, I think maybe you found an interview I did with Entrepreneurs on Fire with John Lee Dumas. But I mean, three or so years ago, I did an interview with him, and it was how I shrink my work week from 5 days down to 3 days and earn the same income. I used my engineering to optimize a business.
Yeah,
so I just kept optimizing it, and it started gaining attention, different Facebook groups within my industry. Ken, can you help me with this? Ken, this, I'm very interested in your approach. And thus I started Smart Cleaning Biz. And the reason it's called that is it ties a lot of things together. Smart, I give JLD a lot of credit for this because he had launched that Freedom Journal around the same time I was discovering this. And it's the SMART goal. I was noticing a lot of cleaning company owners were really struggling with implementation. They had tons of stuff, dusty material on their shelves, but yet they were just like probably a lot of people you interview. There's well, where do I start? They needed accountability. So I wanted to set up a SMART goal and accountability, a coaching, and that turned into memberships, and I'm running that now. So that's how it all went. I sold my first cleaning company in New York, and now I'm building another one in the Philadelphia suburbs and just kind of running multiple things. Nothing major, nothing to the extent of a major yacht company like you just mentioned. But it's fun. So it's definitely something I enjoy doing.
So how'd you come up with the concept? Are you scaling there in your area?
The concept for smart cleaning?
Yeah. I mean, was it just you were doing it, I know, for many years, and you were able to kind of take away, and no pun intended on the engineer, but reverse engineer kind of the life that you want to live, which is what this podcast is about, right? Like business life. How do you let the business serve the life versus
absolutely
the business take over the life, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. A great friend and mentor of mine, Vincent Puglisi. If you haven't interviewed him yet, you may want to. Total Life Freedom is his business. And it lines up really well with what you are, your message here. And so him and I had so many conversations when I was in the tail end of my first cleaning business, and he was just on location, traveling the country with his family, homeschooling. And that really appealed to us. We also homeschool our kids. We have 5 kids. And like, what could I do to become location independent? But yet, where am I already passionate and where am I an expert? And so like you said, the lifestyle design, well, gosh, what if I had some kind of a business where we could stay in the Philly? Well, back then we could just get back to Philly. We want to get back to Philly, but now could we travel more? Could we do some kind of road schooling? We have options, and if we need to be location independent. So we knew that tying all this together, like that Venn diagram and the circles, and what's that sweet spot in the middle. So it appears this is the direction that we're heading, with kind of mapping that out that way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, your service specifically is helping cleaning companies either take the dive or help them with their current businesses.
Yeah, so there's actually 2 different groups of cleaning company owners that I help. The first group is who I am and have been for many years, which is a solo cleaner. It's a solopreneur, solo cleaner. It doesn't take much creativity to figure out I clean by myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. But there is an art form and an engineering and an optimization that I did with that, where I was making more profit than a lot of team cleaning companies. And they would like scratch their head, like, how is this guy on 2 days a week making 50, 60,000 profit? Like, they just didn't get that. And so that's one group. And that I have a podcast for that. So I'm helping that group, and I have a membership for people that just clean by themselves, or a mom that maybe sees the potential of starting a cleaning business. How do they do it? The other group of people is when these solo cleaners want to move on and scale, or the ones already out there scaling. I'm not going to coach them on how to, scale a company. I haven't done it. I wouldn't coach what I haven't done.
Right.
But I'm very good engineering wise at helping them assess where they're at, resource them, go get the things I need to do, and set up SMART goals, which is very analytical, every single month, and pair them off and hold them accountable to doing the things they know they need to do, but they're just not doing it. They're overwhelmed. So giving them hope. So those are the 2 groups I help within my industry. And I'm growing my own business again as well. So those are 3 things I'm doing. Sorry if that was long-winded, but I just wanted
No, I appreciate that. I want to ask a follow-up on that. What are SMART goals?
SMART goal. Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time-bound. I have an entire masterclass on this, a free 1-hour masterclass on my website. And I would recommend go check it out. But let me give you what it is. If you look at it, if you're on a map, right, and you're like, well, I want to go San Diego. Great. So where are you? Not sure. Right. And how do I get there? Well, it doesn't really matter, does it? Because you don't know which direction, you don't know where you're at. You don't know which direction to go. So you have to have a starting point and ending point. SMART goal. People say, well, I want to get bigger. I want to grow. I want to have more. I want to have less, whatever it is. I want to lose weight, gain weight. These are not specific or measurable. So how do you possibly track your progress? How do you know whether you've done good or not? I've grown. Great. I added 1 client over 5 years. You technically grew, but did you grow in a way that was relevant to your goal, to your future? So relevant, it ties a lot. There's a T for time bound, and the attainable. You got to make sure that it's not too easy, but not too hard. There's a lot of factors in there. It's very dynamic, with the 5 letters. But I definitely would recommend check out my free resource on that. It's right on my my website.
We're going to dive into our guests' experiences in business and life after this quick message. Life Nation, are you struggling with growing your business and hitting goals? Or are you over the 9-to-5 grind, finally ready to take the dive into entrepreneurship? What are you waiting for? Go to michaelivas.com to set up a free, no obligation coaching call today. That's MIKEOLIVAS.com. I can help you. It may be the best call you've ever made. There you go, guys. Check out the free resource, and the website is smartcleaningbiz.com. Why do you think many entrepreneurs out there just decide to give up?
So I'm going to tell, that's a really great question. The term that I've heard spoken a lot of, especially like in the TLF group I'm part of, is the messy middle. Familiar with this term, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll tell it in a small story. The guy I sold my first business to, Ian Trainer. So shout out to Ian, Albany Pure Cleaning. When he started, he was taking over a business that was already optimized. So he paid a premium on that company. So you'd have to go and spend 14 years developing. He just bought it as it was. And so he was super excited because he was stepping into, $4,000 or $5,000 a month in profit, a couple days a week. And he's excited, right? So, and he's tripling his job income from what he had before he bought the business. And I said, Ian, you are excited. It was literally June. It's June. You are excited. It's summertime. We were in the Adirondacks of New York. It's green. It's beautiful. And I said, you know what? February is coming. I said, in February, Ian, it's going to be cold, like negative degrees. I know you don't get this in California. I get it. Okay. There's something called snow where I used to live.
Right.
They're up in the Sierra Nevadas too, I think. But we'd get like pounded where you'd like higher than cars at certain intersections, and it's freezing and it's never light outside. And so, Ian, in February, you're going to be questioning everything you're doing, and you're going to probably have times you want to quit. But I promise you, springtime is around the corner and it's going to get exciting again. The green's going to come. And so it's a metaphor, but for him, it held so much truth. And I think to the answer to your question, if your audience can just think of it like this, your February is coming. If you're starting out and you're excited, awesome. At the end, when you start to get closer to this life freedom, it's going to be awesome. But in the middle, February is coming and you're going to question everything. And I think that's where a lot of people start to fade off. And I encourage you, when February is coming, get a good snowsuit and trounce through the snow and win.
Yeah, guys, Ken, you said it great. I think that it's temporary, right? Everything, all the stress is temporary. You're going to have some wins. You'll have a little more stress. You'll have a little more rough patches. You'll have a little more hurdles, but it's temporary. And spring is around every corner. I love that, man. What are you excited about right now within your business?
Oh man, I just said it. For me, spring is right around the corner.
Oh, spring's around the corner for you too?
Yeah, spring's around the corner. We haven't reached that level, which, you've been enjoying now, that freedom lifestyle. We're after it. And it's exciting because we're getting closer, building our membership groups out. But what I'm excited about isn't necessarily like the potential of this location-free business is definitely exciting, and regrowing the current one I have. But what's so cool and exciting for me is that I'm in an industry that is service-oriented, and I'm helping my own community with my personal business, but I have companies that I'm helping, that I have a part in helping companies all over the country and some in other countries. And to think that I could have a small part in literally improving a community in a small way, because we talk a lot about giving and the power of giving and the ripple effect, and just go and serve and give more give more value than you charge. Just these type of concepts. And it's so fulfilling to me to know that I can help more than just my own community, but I can help potentially hundreds of communities now. And I have a podcast too, which is reaching people. I'm blown away, Mike, that people find a podcast and listen to it in some other state or country. And it's just,
right. I know,
that's exciting. That's exciting to me very much.
It is really exciting to know that your message is getting out there, man. And I hope that it is, Ken. It sounds like you're passionate about, obviously the business aspect, but you got the right passion, which is you're helping others. And when you do that, it's crazy when you start seeing the effects trickle in on when you're focusing on the journey versus the outcome. The outcome's going to come. You're stoked on that, it sounds like. And I'm stoked for you, man. It sounds like that's right around the corner for you. So out of all your successes and your failures, of course, we've all had those. What is one piece of parting advice that you would give to the Business and Life Nation out there listening today?
I sound like I have it all together. I don't. I wanted to say that right up front. I have made so many mistakes, and I hope you all have too.
Neither do I, guys.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Everyone, if anybody says they do, I don't know. They're pitching you.
Yeah. So we're a couple of rejects, Mike, but I've heard if you fail enough, right, you'll end up succeeding, right? So I've done it wrong so many ways. It's encouraging to know that people can kind of take my story and not do some of the stuff I did. So I could share greatest struggles and all this kind of stuff. But just one piece of advice, since that's what you asked, and this is recent, very recent. I have always been a side hustler when I was and this is very vulnerable. And I just realized this literally 2 months ago, and it's still painful. And you'll probably laugh at me, but I hope it helps someone out there. Yeah. I'm a goals guy, smart goals, helping people with these. And I've always had this main thing. I was an engineer and then cleaner and then, different things. And I had a side thing. And I've had more passion. I think this is dangerous toward the side thing than I did about the main thing. And here's what I did without realizing it year after year. I would set SMART goals, specific and measurable. I would set them 2 different ways. On my main goal, I would set, on my main thing, whether it was my engineering job or my cleaning business, I would set it for activities, like achieve these activities. And essentially at the end of the year, if I grew a little bit, great, I hit all my activities, I hit all my tasks, and I maintained my business. And I set a growth SMART goal on the side hustle. At the end of the year, I inched forward. I stayed the same in the main, which is where I was the most able to grow fast, because that's my greatest area of expertise, not the side hustle yet. So I poured the energy into the side hustle and I grew a little bit. So maintained and grew a little bit. So my curve is like this. And if I would have switched those a decade ago, literally, I tracked my notebooks back to 2012 and I almost wanted to throw up all over the floor, Mike. I was sobbing when I saw this, but I switched my goals, Mike, at the beginning of this year. I said, no more of this, Ken. I need to do my growth goal on my main business and set activity goals on my side business. Yeah. And as a result of that, I'm already seeing that they're both growing now. And so that's a huge tip. I think that we have to be weary about that. If you're so fired up and passionate about your side thing, be careful, because I believe the main thing you have is a gift, and you ought to honor the gift you've got.
Yeah, I think Brendan Burchard says it really well. He's like, the whole idea is to keep the main thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, remember to keep the main thing. Great info. Great. Really quick here before we jump off, where can everybody find you again? Make sure they get that, and I'll make sure we put that in the show notes as well.
Oh, thank you so much for asking. Yeah, just go over to smartcleaningbiz.com. Check out my resources page. I got a bunch of free stuff on there. And if you have time, check out my podcast, The Solo Cleaning School. You can find that on the website as well.
That's huge. And if you know anybody in the cleaning biz, we all entrepreneurs that are listening to this, aspiring entrepreneurs, or your cleaning lady that might want, some help on an individual basis, please have them go check this out. Let's help make other people's lives better. I know Ken's doing the same thing. It could be a win-win across the board. Ken, again, thank you so much for your time.
So thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Life Nation, you got to remember that in order for things to change, you must change. And in order for things to get better, you must get better. You just got better by hanging out with me, Michael Libas, and the Business and Life Nation. So come back tomorrow, because I'm here dropping sound bombs 7 days a week, baby. If you'd like to subscribe, please do, so you can take action and execute. See you tomorrow.